Hey guys, welcome back to another lesson. Today I'd like to talk to you, or show you actually, one of the coolest chord substitutions I know of in jazz, which is the relative minor substitution. And it can be used quite efficiently when you have a 2-5 progression. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play a little piece or a progression for you, and then I'm going to change something, and then we'll discuss the change. So here's the original so-called piece. So I can keep going, and basically what I'm playing is a C major to an A minor to a D minor to a G, and then repeat it. And I'm in the key of C major. Now, the progression going from the D minor to the G to the C is called a 2-5-1, and it's one of the most important progressions in jazz. Now, instead, let me change the way I play it, and then I'll kind of talk about what I did. So what I did was, instead of playing a D minor to a G, I played a D minor, actually a D minor 11, but it's really about the chords, the kind of the basic chords, and not the higher tensions. That's the point here. So it's a D minor, so it's the same starting position, same starting chord, to an F minor, or actually an F minor 11, to an A flat minor, and to a D flat dominant 7. Now, what I was doing is I was taking this D minor and translating it up a minor third. So from a D minor, I went to an F minor, and then I went again up a minor third to an A flat minor. Now, I didn't keep on going because I went from this A flat minor to a D flat dominant 7. And there are two ways of looking at this. So you can think of this D flat dominant 7 as what's called a tritone substitution. So it's equivalent to playing the dominant chord, which is a tritone away. In this case, the tritone, the chord that's a tritone away from a D flat, is a G. So a D flat dominant 7 is the same, kind of playing it is the same as playing a G, or a G dominant 7. So you could think of this progression as starting from the 2 minor, having two chords in between, the F minor and the A flat minor, and then having this chord which is equivalent to the 5. So 2, something, something, 5, 1. Now, the second way you can think of this D flat chord is you have this D minor that went to an F minor that went to this A flat minor and to this D flat dominant 7. Now, this A flat minor to D flat dominant 7 is actually a 2-5 in itself, just in a different key, which is the key of G flat major. So if you were in the key of G flat major and you were asked to play 2-5-1, you would play an A flat minor to a D flat dominant 7 to a G flat major. Now, of course, that's not what's happening here. Instead, you're kind of tricking the listener. You're making this quick transition between this 2-5 and back to the original key. So you can think of this in one of two ways. Either you're transitioning to a different key and then immediately going back to the original key, or you can think of this as playing a succession of minor thirds, a tritone substitution, and going to the one. Okay, now this actually doesn't stop here, because you can use this motion in minor thirds in other ways. So you have these chords which are D, F minor, and A flat minor. And I could actually do it the other way around. I could start from the D minor, go to a B minor, which is a minor third down, another minor third down, go to an A flat minor, and then, as before, D flat, dominant 7, and C major. And it would sound something like this. So this is another use of this minor third substitution. Some people call it modal sequencing, by the way. So it goes by different names. Actually, I'm not sure if a minor third substitution is really the formal, most accepted name for this, just the name I know it by. You can do something even different. You can start from this A flat minor, go to the F minor, go to the D minor, and then a G and a C. So you could play something like this. A flat minor, F minor, D minor, and then this is a G dominant 7. So I hope I've kind of convinced you that this minor third substitution is pretty versatile and has a pretty interesting sound, in my opinion. It kind of takes you out of the key and brings you back into the key. It has this nice harmonic ambiguity and kind of modal sound, which is one of the reasons why it's called a modal sequencing. Two musicians that come to mind that use this quite a bit are Bill Evans. So go and listen to some Bill Evans recordings and try to identify where he uses this. Another musician is a newer musician called Anomalie, who's a very talented French keyboard piano player. If you haven't listened to him, go and do so. I actually have a video on this channel breaking down kind of partly one of the things that he's done that resembles modal this minor third chord substitution. Not exactly the same, but I'll link to it down in the description so you can go and have a listen and decide for yourself. That's it for now. I hope you've learned something interesting and that you can, of course, incorporate into your own playing, and I'll see you next time.